Hi all, welcome back to more of the other side of the hill solo. This is my part 43 now. Just came straight back there, like I said, on the end of the previous part. So nothing to talk about, just get on with it, Grant. Spring of 1943, operations phase, about to start with strategic warfare. Fortunately, we weren't able to move this up because we've been smashed about a bit. So our strategic warfare dice are only going to be 2. We are going to get one of them being grey. So 1 grey, 1 white for us, and a combat card to see what the strategic warfare dice they're getting in 1943. That's 2 as well, so could have been worse, I guess. That's a low card, that. 1943, 2 dice. Yeah, okay, so 2 dice for them, 2 dice for us, but like I say, they've got 2 chances of hits on their dice, whereas we've only got 1. And we're rolling 2, they're rolling 2. So we do need to get lucky here. Right, here we go. We got the 2 hits, and they got the 2 hits. How about that? Well, I shouldn't complain, really. That was, yeah, we were up against that there. Rolling the same amount of dice as them is because it's only hits that work for us. I mean, okay, there's 3 on the grey dice. 1, 2. There's 3 on the grey dice, but there's only 2 on the white dice. So, and they've got the chance of that and that, as we know, right? So it's 2 to 2. I still don't have my tablet over here, but it's fine. It's no effect. Nothing happens. We equaled each other. So good. I think that was a good result. That's why. Right, moving on. Movement. Okay, so things can happen here. We've played that Atlantic Wall card, so we've got three new armies that we can mess about with. However, Spain's only got 1 army. Egypt's only got 1 army. So I think we were thinking about bolstering them, and then the other army can come over the east. I mean, yeah, it might be better being Turkey. We did strengthen Baltic states with 3 regulars. This has got 4. These have only got 3 each, but they're both defending in rough, so you feel a bit better about that. Turkey is defending in rough, but it's only got the 2 armies, and it can take another army. So, we're going to get a landing check as well on the spring here. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I suppose I don't know if you should start thinking about this or not, but if they land in here and we had 3 armies, we're allowed 3. Stack on it's 3 here, but then we've got to move out of there. We couldn't move all 3 into Greece because I would overstack. But however, we do have a connection to Romania and Bulgaria, and there's only 3 armies in there, so we could put 2 in there and 1 in there maybe. Yeah. I don't know if that's. I think that's too much to sort of try and think about, isn't it? Because who knows? They might land in there, or they might not land in Turkey at all. They might land in Greece, and then actually we're not cut off in Turkey, are we? That's a point. I did start thinking if they did land in Greece before, but maybe the priority is possibly bring Turkey in before Greece. I think that's probably how it'll work. 14 will come before 25, I would think. Maybe wrong, maybe not. Because historically, I want to say the Axis didn't go to Turkey, but they did go to Greece, didn't they? I think that's right. I might be wrong. Okay, so what are we doing? Movement. And of course, the other thing is they could land over here where we've just built our Atlantic Wall, But at least you get a chance to, like landing in there or there would remove that resource. That would be nasty. Denmark, Norway, Northern France. Surely that's a 1944 thing, isn't it? Denmark, Norway? I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna move. Now, I've only got one movement on the western, one on the eastern, and however, we do have 4 on the southern. Not that we really need 4 on the southern, but is what it is. So, my move on the western is gonna. Hang on here, Grant. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so my move on the western is going to move that from there to there. That's my one movement on the western. So the other 2 are going to be strategically moved into here. Yes. Oh. I'm only going to get 4 movement, am I? Because that happens, the operational movement happens first. Well, I don't think it matters. 5 doesn't work anyway, does it? Well, you can still use it. So basically, these are going to go 1, 2, and then 3, 4, aren't they? Right. So, is there any Eastern Front movement or Southern Front movement? Just wondering about. I did sort of think about trying to get, but it would have had to be done strategically. Get a regular army in there. But that's fine. I can't do that now anyway. So, well, no. The fact you've only got 1 movement point, Grant. I mean, yeah, you could bring one out of there to go and do that. But I think I need to keep 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3. Sorry. I mean, this is a resource one as well. I know this is the one that's closest to the Festung sector, but this is a resource one, so I don't want to reduce that either. And hold on. We are going to have one. One of these is going to go in Egypt, and one of these could go into Baltic states. So what are you worried about? Right. Okay. So that's my operational movement done. My strategic movement, bombing the Germany air naval controls at 4. So I've got 4 points in movement. So I'm going to go 1, 2. And then 3 down to Egypt, 3, and then for the last point, aren't you just going to put in the Baltic states? Was that not what I was going to do then? No, it was Turkey, wasn't it? It was Turkey we were thinking about. Yeah, it's a tough call. Yeah, well, you did. I think that's what you were going to do because you strengthened Baltic states with regular armies. When Stupenagel cancels an air hit, this is defending on rough, so getting an extra dice. Von Bock does nothing. Well, he might not be there. He might get replaced with a bit of luck. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying that, and then I might not find anybody that can defend in there anyway, that can do anything. So, I mean, at the moment, there's 3 grey dice, and if we put the other army in there, this is going to be a grey, and that's going to be 4 dice, isn't it? It's like a grey and 3 whites. So that kind of compares a little bit, isn't it? And you do kind of want to try and hold Turkey a bit, if you can. I sort of wish. Yeah, I mean, I think I was saying that in the last part or 2 that I sort of wish I could just get out of Egypt. But I don't think you can just do it. I don't think there's a simple way to do it. You need to be able to retreat, and I'd need to retreat in the Middle East. At the moment, that would overstack it because we've got the 2 there. So, and yeah. And then retreat, and then get into Turkey and just hold there, I think. That's where I'd like to be, I think. That's probably where you should be, and not away down here. And then Spain as well, you should be defending in southern France, probably. Okay, yeah, so one more point of strategic movement. I'm going to move this to Turkey then. Yeah, again, I'm looking at stacking limits and thinking if we do have to retreat and it's all clogged up, and if you can't retreat, I'm assuming they just are eliminated, but... Well, maybe reasons to maybe do combat in Turkey first before you were doing it in Middle East and before you were doing it in Egypt, because then if you get reductions, then at least they can still retreat. Certainly from, if things went wrong in Egypt, I wouldn't be... It's nice to be able to be in the rough in El Alamein, but I'd prefer to just be up in the rough in Erzurum. Okay, movement. Well, that's my operational and strategic movement done. We have Luftwaffe movement, which I'm going to do. I'm going to knock this down by 1, down to 3, to move this up by 1 to 5. Another 2 are... Well, actually, Grant, you could... Yeah, and you probably should. This is at 3. Yeah, I'm going to knock that down 1 more to 2 to knock this up to 2 as well. Yeah, that's all the movement, isn't it? Operational, strategic, and then air. That's it, innit? I think so. Like I say, my tablet's still charging. You could just look at the rule book. Yeah, that seems to be all okay, I think. Yeah, we didn't do anything satellite armies. No, okay. Right, moving on. Command. Right, actually, we've probably introduced some more vacancies, haven't we? What? Okay, it's not as important to forget about that here, but you probably should again get on top of it, that as soon as 2 armies become in here, and get a vacancy marker out there so that you don't forget. So we've got a vacancy in Egypt. I mean, yeah, now I'm in the phase that checks all this, but try and get the habit of keeping an eye on your armies, Grant. So Spain gets a vacancy marker. And that's... well, hang on. Well, we've got questioning to do first, haven't we? I think questioning comes first. Well, not really, actually. It talks about it in the rulebook that... Yeah, it says when the second army enters an area, place a vacancy marker in the first AG head box. So, I mean, you should do that when the army moves in there, before you even get to the command phase. But this is where you would check it and make sure it's alright. But the problem in removing the generals is, well, you can see... I'm not going to go into all that. We've done all that before. Right, so there's nowhere else that's needing a vacancy, is there? At the moment, until we start rolling dice and maybe dismissing certain people. No. Spain and Egypt, say Middle East has got 2 satellite armies, doesn't count. Turkey's alright. Yeah. Okay, so dismissals. Right, there's quite a few. So I'll jump up here at first. They're all up here. So we've got Von Bock. I'm going to bring him down first. Yeah, let's just deal with Von Bock first. So you can see he's a 3. He is not dissident. So if he rolled a 3, he would become dissident. Anything higher than a 3 is going to dismiss him. Okay, so let's say I don't think we're too fussed about Von Bock. Having said that, I mean, he's not got a problem with attacking into these other areas up there beside him in Leningrad now, because he can't do the second advance, which is kind of not what we wanted to do, or we got caught out doing and whatever. So yeah, well, let's just see what he rolls, Grant. So higher than a 3 is dismissed, a 3 is dissident, less than a 3 is okay. Right, we got 4, right, so he is dismissed. But I might be saying, well, we've got rid of one bolt, but however, the downside to that is that we're going to place a vacancy marker, we're going to add one unrest, and we're going to draw a black orchestra card. So first of all, as marker comes away, and we place the vacancy up there, his card is going to go up in the pile of dismissed generals. Now, just double checking, no, his special is the horrible thing that we were forgetting about. So no problems with, nothing happens when he gets dismissed. His marker's going to go up there beside the rest of them. Unrest is going to go up by 1. Where are we? Up to 2. And I'm going to draw one more black orchestra card into my pile. And there's only, I want to say there's only 4 cards left. I mean, I would like to consider that this is possibly the norm, but I might be wrong. Maybe we are losing generals more than you would average. White would be the norm, but I don't know. Okay, right. So we've got more to do though. Right. So I'm going to do these 2 next. These 2 are going to be activated if they are okay. So let's bring them down. So seniority wise, they're both a 5. So let's roll modal. Modal is a 6 confidence. And neither of them are dissident. So we'll roll for modal first. And Reinhardt's a 5. Okay. So as long as we roll lower, well, I'm gonna roll for modal first. Being the 6. So he can't be dismissed. However, becoming dissident still draws a black orchestra card. And the unrest? I think it does. Yeah, it does. So we don't want to see a 6 here. Right, so modal 6. Less than a 6, please. Oh, you're having a laugh. You are seriously having a laugh. Right, okay. So modals, hopefully there's 1 left. There's 1 dissident marker left. I was going to check that just in case, because I had a feeling that means there's only 2 in the game. Or is it 3? No, there's only... there is 3, yeah, because Kesselring. Yeah, Kesselring rolled a 6 as well, didn't he? We've been a bit unlucky with that. Okay, so modal is not dismissed. So his card goes in. He was activated, so his card goes in the activated pile. I've got to keep his counter marked here with dissident. I mean, this is where all the counters are meant to be. I'm just going to leave it at the corner there, because I mean he's been activated as well. I just need to remember that he's a dissident. So now we have no dissident markers left. So if we roll a dissident result, it's a dismissal. And however, also because we rolled that was horrible. That was just not fair. That goes to 3. That drops down to 6, and then that goes back to 0 again. And we draw another black orchestra card. My. Right, so now we're doing Reinhardt. He's got a confidence of 5. So we need to roll above a 5, because a 5 is going to dismiss him. 3. Sorry, yeah, I'm the other way about. We needed to roll lower than a 5. Yeah, because a 5 and 6 would dismiss them. Is that right? Because the 5, we've no more dissident markers. That was less than the number. Yeah, so he gets flipped back. He's fine. So I just flip his marker back. I'm just going to leave the marker off to the side because he's been activated. It goes back to the activated general spell. Okay, good. Right, and then we've got the 2 generals. Now, these were the more interesting ones that were AG heads, but got removed at the same time. When they got questioned, they got removed to the available generals, basically. Well, that's the way I'm seeing it, anyway. So we've got Rommel's a 6, and von Wietinghoff's only a 4. Neither of them are dissident. So let's do Rommel first. So again, a 6 is going to dismiss him. I mean, he doesn't come back, no. Right, okay. So it's got to be less than a 6 for Rommel. There's a 2. Okay, so he becomes unquestioned. So again, I just flip his marker over and put it in the pile. And then his card is going to go to the available generals. Because that's the way I see that. He was an AG head. He can't go back to where he was in Egypt. We may well be putting him back in Egypt. But that's where he goes for the moment. Right, so we've got von Wietinghoff, who's a 4 confidence. So again, a 4's not good as well. So it's got to be less than a 4 here. Then we get a 6. So another dismissal. Von Wietinghoff, he's pretty good as well. Like, you know, Adenar, White. Nah, he was the guy in Spain, wasn't he? Right, okay, so he's dismissed. Yeah, no vacancy because he wasn't in Spain at the time this happened because, So he's dismissed. His marker's gone. Again, unrest goes up by 1, and again we're drawing our Blackhawks card. I want to say there's only 2 left, which tells me this is going to be up to 9. I can't see the queue being until 44, but I might be wrong. Nobody said. Probably don't want to spoil it for me, but it's just fine. That's good. Okay. So, right, that's all. Well, that's our dismissal rules, I think. Yeah, but we've got 3 vacancies now. We've got Baltic States, Spain, and Egypt. Well, okay, I'm pretty sure Rommel's just gone back in Egypt, isn't he? Now, do we appointments? I wish I could have the cards for this. It's quite straightforward. Hang on. Order to fill a vacancy, players may nominate. Right. Solitaire. Player may choose a general with a high seniority factor in his available general space. If there is a tie, he may choose which general. Alternatively, he may choose a general in the activated generals or in command generals with a seniority higher than that of the general with a high seniority factor in the availables. Right, okay. I'm remembering now. So our highest available is 6, is Rommel and co. So if we wanted to pick an activated, it's got to be higher than 6. These are all 5, so we can ignore them. We could pick one of these if it's higher than 6. Defending on rough against Soviet faction, no, see. Kesselring can't be involved, that's attacking, yeah. Stupinego, well, he's a 6, so I can't use him either, right. So there's nobody there. So it's got to be, yeah, in fact, all these vacancies are going to have to be with the 6s, aren't they? That right? Yeah, because I looked through everybody else. Nothing is of interest in Spain, Baltic States. Actually, hang on. Baltic States, maybe. Then Von Manstein is good. Oh no, he is a 6, so it's got to be higher than a 6, Grant. Yeah. So it can't be Von Manstein or Von Stupinego, which I think are the 2 that would maybe. That's for attack, and I mean Von Kukler maybe. Von Kukler, who's in He's in Hungary. He's dissident. Just, he's the one that cancels the reduction special effect, isn't he? I could possibly, I mean, I don't want to move him to Spain or Egypt, obviously, because that special effect doesn't come up, but I could maybe move him to the Baltic States. Right, let's keep Von Kukor in mind, and let's have a look at the 60s that we've got in the available. I'm just looking through things here also and wondering. No, Grant. No, that's silly. No, you've got that the other way about. I think if it comes to the summer, and we're going to do Barbarossa, I think I talked about moving into Moscow and List, who's the AG head in Belarus here, which is, yeah, it's the area you would attack from, has attack into rough if there is at least one regular panzer army in the combat, cancel additional allied duel and die roll in rough terrain. I suppose I was thinking there because there's 3 regular armies, but as long as we've got 1 regular army here, that's in the plains to start with, isn't it? Ugh, okay. I think these are all rough. That's what I was thinking, I suppose, but yeah. Look, I think you can get really tied up with all the generals and that. From one great, that's defending in river. Oh, hang on then. Hang on. Defending in river is interesting. But if anything, like I say, Belarus were maybe wanting to do the attack. But, well, what about Baltic States though? Oh, that's against the Western faction. Yeah, I looked at that already. So, Ernst Busch, defending in any, roll 1 grey die if the result is, yeah, cancel the effect. That's actually not bad, I think. Yeah, I think I want to leave List where he is, even though he's attacking into plains to start with. Then we maybe want to try for Moscow, you know. So the attack. Well, hang on. No, that's right. Yeah, the attack into Mozhaysk, or whatever, would be would prevent them getting an extra die roll. And I suppose if you pushed on to Gorky, but okay, so not right. We're putting Rommel in Egypt again. So Rommel's going in Egypt, right? He's in command in Egypt. Where's his counter? There we go. He's in Egypt. I'm not sure. Spain. See, this is a guy as well, but attacking into rough or defending in any, really black die that is rolled, but we've not got any panzer armies, and I just want to say that maybe we could possibly upgrade here, but we can't do that until the next administrative phase anyway. Like, this guy's no good. He's Denmark, Norway, so, and he's no good unless we're defending and river on the west against the Western faction. So that's not any good. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling for. I mean, I know. Well, maybe. I mean, no, I can't move on Manstein because he's a 6. Can't move on Stupenagel because he's a 6. Von Kukor I could move. Yeah, because I'm thinking, I mean, aren't these areas slightly more important than back here? I mean, I know this is still getting attacked, but. So he going to put in Spain? He's not any good. Yeah, none of these are any good, are they? Black die, Roman good die. See, that's not any good. I really need to move things about here. Well, at least if you've got a 6 in Spain, then you can get a leading general as a 5, I think. Whereas before we didn't. We had a useful general that was a 5, but we weren't able to get a leading general for the tax. I think that's probably what you've got to do. Okay. Let's just put, because he's useless anyway. I mean, if he was in Denmark, Norway, it's only when he's attacking into rough. So I'm going to put him and as the AG head in Spain. So he's not going to do anything. What's his name? Falkenhorst. Right, give me a second. Right, there he is. I mean, he's got a pretty bad confidence, but that does mean that he could draw another Black Orchestra card and reduce unrest, Grant. Or increase unrest, sorry. So put him in there, we put Rommel and Egypt. So I suppose it's going to be Ernst Busch, I think. Yeah, I mean, if I had the one Panzer army up there, I would put von Kleist in, but there's not any. So Ernst Busch at least has the option of possibly cancelling the special effect. So I'm going to go with him. So he's going to go in command of the AG head in Baltic States. There he is. He's been out before. He's done something. Well, he's pretty good actually. His confidence is 5. Right, and then the other 3. So we've got 3 6s left. So we've got 6s and 5s when it comes down to it. And then we have this opportunity to pick anybody and move them. And I think once I've even thought of that, trying to put the 3 generals out, I'm like burnt out. So, but, I guess people with better control and better players than me would now maybe select somebody and move them. It's possible. But, hang on. He's got to be higher, isn't he? I mean, replace one general in AG head or will be box with the marker on one of his generals with a higher seniority factor. What is Von Weeks again? These are OB in the Western. He's a 7 seniority, attacking into rough. Add +1 hit to the Axis combat roll. Yeah, but you're not doing any of that this year, Grant. Nah, hang on, it's got to be higher. So I can't replace list. Yeah, but you can see what you could have done was probably put list in here, and then the other guy in there. Then you would have been able. You know what? It's an awful lot to think about all that. Maybe a bit too much for me. I like it though. It's not that I don't like it. That's the big part of the game, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that, and that's a command done, isn't it? Right, Axis offensive. Well, short and sweet. We're not having one. It's not summer though, so we're not penalised. Right, Western offensive. And we're going to get the possible land-ins this time. So, let's just look at the one book. If there is at least one landing mark in the landing markers box, and the current season is not winter, it's not as spring, we do have one landing marker, so we're going to draw a card. It is spring, so combat card. Spring of 1943. What's happening? Summer, fall. Oh, we're good. We're okay. So summer, fall. So no landings. Good. Yeah, didn't want to see that. Right. But now Western offensives. Disputed. This is Spain. No, Spain, Egypt, and somewhere else in it. Spain, Egypt are disputed. Yeah, I know, you got Turkey and Middle East as well, Grant. Turkey and Middle East are adjacent. That's going to be it. Right, now we talked about, in case of retreats, that it might be better doing Turkey before Middle East before Egypt. I don't know if that pans out or not. Spain is Western. Air naval control and Southern's at 2 and the Western's at 1. You know what? Let's just do Spain. And then we'll come across here. And we'll do them in the order that I said, I think. Right, let's just do that. So Spain, we've got 2 reduced armies, 1 Falkenhorst. I want to see, no, he's the Denmark-Norway guy. He's doing nothing. We will get an extra dice for Barcelona being rough, so it's going to be 3 white dice, which is... okay. Right, well, might not be a combat. So 1943 Western faction on the attack. And we do get lucky. Card number 4, 1943 Western faction on attack is a... I say we get lucky, but we're going to draw a strategic event. So, put the card there just now. So, strategic event. Unconditional surrender. Fanaticism value +1. What? Hello? Wait, why is that a good... Don't know. Oh, you guys don't know, eh? These guys don't know. Well, they obviously... That's a American president and the British Prime Minister, isn't it? Right, Churchill and... come on, Grant. You're going to let down your American... viewers here. What's it? Roosevelt. Aye. I think, isn't it? Hopefully I've got that right. Might need to edit that out now. So yeah, fanaticism +1. So that's really nice actually, because I didn't like the fact that I dropped to 6. That does nothing. This would have always happened, this card anyway, but that's it done. Goes away. So a good strategic event. How about that? There are some. Not many, but... Right, and that combat card goes away. That was a good combat card. That was in Spain. So that comes away. Right, and let's just do them in the order we said then. So we're going to do Turkey. Now, I want to say that was a good card, so... Yeah, let's just go for it. Turkey's got the stronger force anyway. So, combat card for Turkey. 1943 Western. Right, we're getting a combat this time. 1943 Western. 2 air and 3 dice. Okay, so there's going to be a combat. 2 air and 3 dice. We select our generals. Yeah, we're in the southern, so we get Kesselring. Good. Kesselring and von Stupenagel. Where are they? Stupenagel, Kesselring. So, again, Kesselring turns the white dice grey. Okay, good. And von Stupenagel, defending in any, cancels 1 air result. This is in the combat roll though. Yeah, okay. So that's our 2. So they're good to start with. Drop some there. And then we've got an AG head. A leading general. We're defending in rough. We have 6s and 5s. that we can choose from. Ooh, there's not many 5s. 3 6s and 2 5s, so we might get down to the 4s sometime soon, actually. Right, so none of the generals help us here. So I'm as well... well, I'm saying take the 6s out, but if I took the 2 5s out, if I was able to take the 2 5s out, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this guy. This is defending and or attacking in planes, whereas what Middle East is, but it's not going to help us. Controlling pyramid change 1 grey hit result for 1 grey tank result. So, in fact, yeah, I mean, he's sort of no good. I mean, it would be good if we had some regular armies in Middle East, but and I'm just thinking if we take the 2 5s out, then at least we dig down to the 4s, which might be a bit more useful. Rather than, I was just going to pick on a random 6 here, but there's 3 of them. So if you get what I'm saying here, it's... Although none of them are really of any use. Defending in rough, defending in plains... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find anybody here that's going to help me. This guy is needing black dice. So I mean, he's good if you've got some black dice, so if you've got some panzer armies, and then this guy's defending only in the western faction, defending in river, but well, I'm not. And these are all the 6s, so the 6s are useless. The other one's Guderian, which you don't apply the second, advanced thing, reduction. So I think I'm going to... Yeah, I think I'm going to try and just get rid of the 2 5s. Sort of hope for the best. I mean, this attack we've got Kesselring, so we've got our OB and our AG head, which are doing something at least. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put this guy in. He's a 5, so it needs to be a 6 or a 5. He's a 5. It does nothing for us. So that's that, right? And then I'll get rid of that other 5 in the next combat, I think, and then we can dig down to the 4s. That's my thinking there. Right, so we've got 2, looking back at the combat card, we've got 2 air dice to roll and 3 combat dice to roll. We're not messing with any special effects this time, so it will be 2 air and, no, hold on. Yeah, our air naval control in the southern front is at 2, so that was bad actually. Yeah, we don't want to see an aircraft here. So we're getting 2 dice. We really don't want to see an aircraft, or it means... it means they're getting an extra dice. It does, doesn't it? Oh, no. And we've got 2 other combats to come afterwards, maybe. We really don't want to see an aircraft here. Oh, how about that? Sometimes the dice go for you. 2 tanks. The beauty. Okay. Right, so that doesn't... It keeps our air naval control at the 2. I mean, yeah, you've got to feel... Well, at least I'm going to get the +1 dice here. So combat, they're going to roll 3 dice, and... Where are we? Where are we going again? It's Turkey, yeah, sorry. It's Turkey. They're getting 3 dice. Again, I've not got my tablet. I could probably let and go it, but... where's the combat? Here we are, here. So, yeah, it's us that are defending. There's no +1s. And their naval control is in the 2 box. So it's not down at the 1, give them an extra dice. So they're going to get 3 dice. Right, let's do that. 3 dice. This is the actual combat this time. Well, I'm not sure I'm that happy with that result. Weirdly, I don't know, because I feel like I could do something here. I kind of would prefer, because now they are going to knock my air naval control to 1 now. I suppose I'm maybe not so fussed about the well, I don't know, these combat events are brutal. Okay, so, well, there's no hits. So we've got a grey and 2 white, and an extra white for defending in rough. However, Kessel Ring makes that extra white a grey. So 2 grey, 2 white. Oh, Grantos, look. You forgot about that. So he's going to cancel there. Oh, I'm happier now. I forgot, so it's going to stay at 2. Excellent. Wow, that's worked really well. I mean, we do have 2 combat events, but as long as we get 1 hit here, 2 grey and 2 white dice. Come on, surely. I can't. Wait, not be. 2 grey, 2 white. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah, I was just looking up there thinking, yeah, it's fine. Moscow's has got a stacking limit of 4. Yeah, I remember I got caught out with that earlier in the game, that when you attack in an area, you've got to watch the stacking limit. Like, for instance, if we had 4 armies in here, in Baltic States, and wanted to attack in Leningrad, we would only be able to attack with 3 of the armies, because that's the stacking limit. But, yeah, that's fine. We're not messing with that now. Right, with 2 grey, 2 white, just need a hit. That's 1. Oh, that was guns. 1, 2, 3 hits, and well, the other event's not going to count because we've already got 2 events from the Allied roll. Okay, we're good. Right, so that's a result. That's a blank, obviously. We can only have 2 events, so I'll take the event away. I don't think it comes up that it's their event and our event, and nothing's been brought to my attention regarding that. Right, let's get rid of that aircraft, because cancel 1 air result in the Allied combat roll. They rolled 1, we cancel it. So we've got 3 hits. However, there is 2 combat events to come. So let's have a look at them. Right, first combat event is no retreat. So if the Axis is the attacker, we're not, or the combat's result is victory, well, it is. So it's going to go down the bottom, but let's have a wee sneak at what it does. The Axis faction cannot retreat in the current combat. Apply all hits as reductions. Oh my. I would not have liked that here, because no, that's Turkey. I would not like that in Egypt, because I probably, I'm talking about wanting to maybe bail out of there. Let's go down the bottom. There's quite a few combat events still to come, so I can't see that coming up anytime soon. And then it goes into New Year as well. So it goes down the bottom of the combat event deck and takes care of our first event. We've got 1 more to come. And yeah, I mean, the combat is going to be victory, because they're no hits, we've got 1 hit. Right, Tito. Oh, I remember seeing this one, watching the videos. This is not good, I think. If Yugoslavia is not a conquered area, discard this card. Yugoslavia is a conquered area. So this is bad, I think. Yeah. Wehrmacht replacements -1. Then it goes in the new year. Yeah, I think I spoke about this earlier in the game about I think you could leave Yugoslavia neutral throughout, couldn't you? And this card wouldn't trigger that. But you can see that's bad. That's the first time we've taken a hit on our Vermoc replacement, so it's down to 2. And then, like I say, this card will go to the new year and come back to haunt again in the future. And, well, yeah, we can't do anything about Yugoslavia. Well, I don't know, unless they took it back, I suppose. So, yeah, not good, that one. That was our second event. However, combat, we've got 3 hits, they've got none, so combat's done. Card can go away. Kesselring will leave sitting. Stupenagel goes back in command. And this guy, which was just to get rid of him, really goes away. He's been activated. I'm going to leave Kesselring there because, well, we might not see in a combat. Maybe. That's combat in Turkey resolved. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with my guns and go for the Middle East next. So, draw a combat card, 1943. Western faction on the attack. It looks bad. Oh, my. What card's that? 18. Right, this could be rough. We've got 2 satellite armies here. 1943. 2 air rolls and 4... yeah, because I'm assuming Kesselring still applies here then. So 2 air rolls and 4 dice. Because we've not got an AG head and we're not allowed a lead in general. Because these are satellite armies. I don't think there's a problem with the OB though. Again, it's one of these things that I don't recall reading that there was an issue with it, but you know, when I seen I was wanting to well, I knew I couldn't put an AG head in there because there was not 2 German armies. Now, I did sort of forget and almost wanted to put a leading general in there, but when I watched it back, I realised that I wasn't going to be able to do that either. But I don't think the OBE has an issue. Hang on, he's not going to matter anyway, Grant, because we're not defending in rough. Yeah, and that's all he does. Yeah, there's trouble in the Middle East. I'm sure that's been said a few times. Sorry, don't get that way, Grant. Right, trouble in the Middle East. Kesselring. Yeah, that's all you're getting. Two air, which is probably going to mean they're going to get an extra dice on top of the 4. Right? Okay. I can't do any. I can't activate any generals, apart from Kesselring, who is not going to help me because we're not defending in rough. And I think that's right. Let me know if for some reason Kesselring can't be involved in helping there because there's only satellite armies. It sort of feels like he maybe shouldn't be allowed to be involved as well, but I don't know. Maybe that is in the rules, but it's not something that's jumping out at me anyway. Right, 2 air rolls first, and then 4 dice. Right, we don't want to see an aircraft again. Wow. And remember, this one doesn't count. It's only in the strategic warfare that would count as a hit. So no. We get away with it again. So our air naval control is still at 2. They're going to roll 4 dice. So, right, well, we need lots of events, I think, probably. Here we go. Well, actually, it's only 2 hits, isn't it? Because we're going to take our air naval control down and we're going to get another event. So it's just 2 hits, so we do have some hope of, well, we're rolling 2 yellow dice and that's it. So here we go. See what we can do. Oh dear. Right, that's not good. Get on. That can't be good. Okay, well, we're getting a whole lot of nothing. There's a combat event. Yeah, let's just draw the combat event first and deal with the rest of the stuff. 28th Mountain Army. If the USSR is not at war New Year, is at war. If the combat is with the Western faction, goes down the bottom. It is. Cancel one hit. They would have cancelled the hit. Right, it's only good against the Soviets, that's the 28th Mountain Army. Yeah, if the combat is with the Western faction. Right, now hang on, there's not one of these or a couple of these that are misprinted. There's a errata. Hang on. Does it make sense? If the combat is with the Western faction, put it down the bottom. Cancel one hit from the Allied combat roll in this combat. Roll one Soviet die if the result is Soviet hit. Discard this card. Yeah, I think it is okay, that one, isn't it? It seems to make sense. If the USSR is not at war, it would go to the New Year. Yeah, because it'd keep going down the bottom of the deck, wouldn't it? Yeah, it wouldn't make sense, would it? Yeah, so it's just going to go down the bottom. However, this is going to be good for against the Soviets, so we're going to get a bit of help with that one. Yeah, okay. So it's 3, 5. We've got five combat events on top of it, though. So, well, we're going to have 4 Soviet offensives, aren't we? Right, now to the bad stuff. So that was the event. Right, air naval control takes a hit. It's down to 1 now. So it does mean the last attack in Egypt, they're going to get an extra die roll. That takes care of that. We have 2 hits to deal with. We had no hits. We've got to take 2 hits. Oh my. Middle East. See, I can't retreat. Oh no, hang on. You can retreat into Jerusalem. Yeah, I suppose that's why I was doing that first, in case there was a space in there for me to be able to retreat. So I think, well, the thing is, we've no AG head and no Eden general. So I think what I have to do here is take a reduction. Yeah, if I don't... Oh, hang on, Grant. Hang on here. Is this a retreat possibility for me? Hang on. I think you need to retreat into Jerusalem first. Right, hold on here. Let's get the rules a bit for this. Yeah, I mean, a retreat moves you to the next lowest number. If I was to take 2 retreats here, though, I would go 1, and then my take here is I'd either have the option of retreating into Turkey or retreating into Egypt, I think. Egypt's disputed, Grant. So let's double check that. If the axis control, I'm looking at page 29. If the axis control disk was in the 1 sector in the area, so let's just assume we went 1 for our first hit as a retreat. Then remove it from the map, replace the disputed mark in the alignment box with the alignment mark of the faction indicating the control disk in the area. So this would become... Well, actually, when we retreated to here, this becomes disputed. This becomes a Western control disk. Yeah? And then if we retreat again, that becomes Western aligned. And what happens to us then? Move all Then the head of operations must do the following. Move all the armies in the area to an adjacent area or areas controlled by the Axis or with a disputed marker without it seen. Yeah, so we could go here. Because we can't go here because we're going to be overstacked. It's not really like we want to go Egypt, is it? I think with this, Kesselring might be questioned. His confidence is a 6 though. But he is marked dissident already, so... let's just double check that. So we retreat... Hang on. Axis is a defender. This is a defeat. If at least one retreat or 2 reductions... if more than one retreat or 2 reductions applied, also flip the head of the OB. Right, yeah, so if I retreat twice, Kesselring's going to be questioned. So there's that risk. There's no AG head, there's no Eden General. So that doesn't matter. If I retreat twice, retreat. I can't take both armies with me anyway. This is a mess. I don't think there's a good way out of this, isn't there? Well, you could avoid Kesselring getting questioned by just going retreat, reduction, I think. Or I could go retreat, and then put this in here, I think, and then we lose the Middle East. We're then cut off for supply. Yeah, so then what you need to do is try and battle your way out of here, Grant. Yeah, and this is why I need to do this, don't I? I need to do the Son of Blumeda. I need to... yeah, I basically need to attack into the Middle East and take everything with me and abandon Egypt. And then do the same into Turkey, don't I? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Well, if we lost the Middle East here, yeah, but you're going to get to supply, and then right. What's going to happen in supply then? If they take over this area, what's going to happen in supply phase? Where's that in the rules? 4.7.2. Egypt. Right, where? Supply check. What am I missing here? Military directives. Supply check. First check whether the port's controlled. Right, okay. An area has land supply if a continuous string of adjacent areas with an accent. Right, okay. Place an isolated marker in the army's box of any areas without land or naval supply. 6.4. Yeah. Okay, so 6.4 is going to take effect. If an area with a resource symbol becomes isolated, subtract 1 from the resource value. It's not a resource, is it? So 6.4, this is the downsides to it, isn't it? I think the regular army becomes a reduced or something. Where is it? 6.4 is Axis combat rule. Right, if the area is a nice... Yeah, I spoke about this before. I don't know if you picked up on this, Carlos. I think the isolated situation could be better done in the rules. I feel it should have its own little bit, because it like just points to little bits. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Or I mean, is this the only thing that affects it? If the area is an isolated marker, roll grey combat dice for Panzer armies and roll white combat dice for regular armies. Reduced and satellite armies are not affected. I mean, if that's it, if that's all that matters to being isolated, fair enough. And that could be all that's relevant. I seem to recall coming across it before and thinking it was a bit muddled up in the rules. I may be wrong. So, it would mean, I think it's a better option. Because Turkey's still getting attacked, even if this is ours or not, from Iraq-Iran. And we're actually going to get a satellite army in here. So, we either go... The only thing is Kesselring will be questioned. So we either go 1, 2, and keep that, and then there and there, and that's disputed. And does that mean we can still trace our supply if this is disputed? 4.7.2. An area is a land supply of a continuous string of adjacent areas with an axis control disk. Yeah, so if we've still got the control disk here, we can trace through that to the Festung area. Yeah, so that's the issue there. So we either do that and keep our supply, or I think we do the other thing. I'm going to do 2 retreats here. I'm going to do... Yeah, we're still going to lose an army because I've not got the space, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah. But we're just going to have 1 satellite army there, and then we've got to get Sona Blumeda, and we're moving into summer though, and we're like doing the Barbarossa, and man. You're going to have to come through the Middle East again to go to Turkey though, Grant, so... I just feel like I want to fight my way back here. I don't know if this is rubbish or not. Right, so I'm going to do 2 retreats. Oops. And then do 1, and then retreat into Egypt. This goes away. Our armies are going to... and when I do that, they're going to go... First retreat, they're going to go in there. Second retreat, they're going to go in there. And that is going to become Western controlled. Our 2 armies get to retreat to an adjacent area. Unfortunately, these are both got a stack limit of 3, so only 1 can go in there. This other one's just going to have to go away. So it's removed from the game. Then, because it's 2 retreats, our AG head would be questioned, there wasn't one. Our leading general would be questioned, there wasn't one. And because it's 2 retreats, it's more than 1 retreat. Is it more than 1 retreat? No. If more than 1 retreat or 2 reductions are applied, also flip the head of the OB to in the front whose question side. So Kesselring is going to become questioned. I'll put him up there. Oh yeah, I can put that. There's a space there. And Kesselring. Yeah. So he's questioned. Right, and I'm going to put the marker underneath him. So I remember he's up there. He's up there in the box that I'm going to question. Right. And then that's the 2 hits taken care of. That's the combat over in the Middle East. We're now cut off in Egypt, so we're going to become isolated in the supply phase. Combat card's done. Right, I need to wrap this up and take a break. An hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, well, sure we can do this last attack and then move on to the Soviet offensive. Right, okay. Well, we've got an extra army now. Satellite army is, but still an extra army. Right, so combat in Egypt. 1943 Western faction, drawing a combat card. 1943 Western faction. So it's a good card. 1 air and 1 strategic event. Now there's no point in rolling the air because it's sitting at 1. So we're just going to take a strategic event here. Yeah. Nah, right, okay. Right, so yeah, there's no point rolling the air naval because it's at 1. Strategic event. There's only 2 left. So here we go. Right, we've got a misfortune. Italy surrenders. Oh, great. If the status of Italy is occupation, it is not. We would discard this card as intervention. If both areas 22 and 23 are controlled by the Axis... Oh, they are. They're satellite. Does that mean control them? If both areas 22 and 23 are controlled by the Axis... Yeah, they are, aren't they? And this card goes down at the bottom. What happens if... No. Great. Just when I drew that card, I thought, oh, great, it's no combat. We'll get out of here quickly. Because I do need to stop for a bit. Well, let me just pause the camera now and work out what I'm doing here before I finish this video off. Right, okay, so... yeah, I was double checking about the controlled situation. Right, if the status of Italy is occupation, we would discard the card. It's not, and occupation is when we remove this counter, but I don't think... I think this should still be as is, and pretty sure somebody would have told me if it wasn't. So, and then the next part is if both areas 22 and 23 are controlled by the Axis, this goes down at the bottom of the deck. 22 and 23 are controlled by the Axis because it does say that an area is controlled by the Axis if it has an occupied marker or a satellite marker. So they are both controlled, which says this card goes down the bottom. And checking the rulebook, page 31, about events, and regarding this going down the bottom, it says, if the condition is met, ignore the recurring and unique events on the card. So the recurring event is a misfortune. That's right, isn't it? Strategic events cards also trigger recurring events indicated by the symbol in the top left corner. Yeah, that's a recurring event as well. So we ignored that. And we place the card at the bottom of his deck and do not draw another event card to replace it. I suppose what was throwing me here is, what happens if we get to the end of the year with this? I think the card's just going away, isn't it? Well, hang on. Because this is blue, we need to apply it. Okay. Yeah, this will trigger at the end of the year, won't it? We'll start ignoring that and then just trigger it. Is that right? Well, you know what? Just now it goes down the bottom. And we don't do the misfortune as well. And when I say down the bottom, I mean there's only... Well, it's the second card now. There's only 2 cards left. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. So that was all on the combat card, wasn't it? 1943 yeah, it was an air roll and a strategic event. Air roll was pointless. Strategic event turned out to be nothing. So that's the last combat there. Right, okay, so I will move the marker on to the next part, which is Soviet offensive, but we'll stop there and take a break for a bit. I might get back for another part actually before I have to head off. But that was good. A couple of parts done there. It's not going great. You don't expect it to go great, but yeah, I mean it's one of these games. Well, I suppose most games they need to be challenging, don't they? They need to be. You feel like you're up against it, like here, a lot. But no, it's good. It's good. Still good. I'm still hoping to. Yeah, I'll definitely finish this out. I know it's taken a while. Whether anybody's sticking with it or no, but I am slowly. Right. Hopefully I'll get back for another part later on. If not, I'll be back when I'm back. Okay, cheers.